Okay. It hasn't, the noon whistle hasn't blown. I have an alarm set. So, but I thought there are a couple surveyors out there. They might know what all this means. This is a survey point. It usually means the top of the hill to the layman. I guess it was put in 1975. And COR 192 WITN ESS. I don't know. And it's got some other numbers on there. Oh, it's a west at the end and south there. So, oh, and then H I imagine would be height. But I don't really know. And I don't know if I'm holding it still enough for anyone to get a good look at it. But it's interesting, and you see them on a lot of the mountains. And sometimes, if it's got a long walk, ridge walk in between, you'll see one at one end where it peaks, where you go over that edge. And then you'll see another one before you start going down. You know, about a quarter mile apart. So, I've seen that a few times. Anyhow, I'm going to keep on walking. It's getting hotter. There is perspiration dripping off my nose every minute or two now. But this was expected. It's supposed to be over 90 degrees today. And I'm in the Jefferson Memorial. I don't know if it's Memorial, but it's a Jefferson Wilderness Forest. And I am not too far from the Audie Muprhy, because we're going to see that memorial today. And then tomorrow it will be Dragon's Tooth. And a day or two after that it will be McAfee's Knob. Anyone who's really interested can look those places up. You probably find them on Google Maps, or even just Google itself. I've evidently gotten up to the A-top because it's leveled off quite a bit. And that marker also indicates that. Which doesn't mean you're not going to get some ups and downs. But generally they're going to be 10 or 20 feet like this one. This one's about 15 to 20. And then it levels off again. And they don't bother me too much. You hear me breathing a little harder because I'm not using the poles either, because I'm holding this. And I'm going to catch my breath and take a drink. I've had a whole liter of water now. About every 2 to 3 hours, a whole liter. So, whew. And by my calculations, a liter every 2 hours would be 6 miles. So I'm doing a mile an hour. So, whew. So I'm going to try and space it out to 2.5. That'll be 3 while I'm on the trail. Then I'll do another liter. And I did 16 ounces on the way up. And another, and I'll try and drink another liter before I go to bed tonight. So, anyhow, there's an update, and the next update I suspect will be from the Audie Muprhy Memorial. Alright, bye-bye. Well, here it is. We finally got here, and I forgot to look at the time, so I will do that now. 12:30. Not bad. I was thinking between 11 and 1. Might go to 2, so I'm not displeased. May 22nd, Sunday. And there's the Audie Muprhy Memorial. And I'm sitting on a bench. They put benches out here, which is nice. There's one, and I'm in the other one. I'm not going to turn it all the way to focus on me, since I'm all sweaty and ugly and shit. But there's also the flag. I believe that's a Texas flag. I apologize to all you people from Texas. I'm not that familiar with it, but it is the Lone Star State. And I've been through Texas a few times, and I'm pretty sure that's it. So I guess Audie Muprhy maybe was from Texas, and that's why it's there. But I don't know that. I'll double check tonight. And naturally there's the American flag because it's on top. And evidently there are people who come up here and service this regularly because both of them are in pretty good shape. Although the Texas flag does have a little bit of fray at the top there. You Texans, get down on your horses and come on up here. There's also, it's lit from the back. It has solar panels and a light, which explains why they don't have to take it down at sunset. So, because I think protocol is, if I remember correctly, you have to take it down at sunset, but not if it's lit. So, it's a beautiful spot. Now, who was Audie Muprhy? He was the most decorated soldier, Army, I believe, from World War II. And I'm familiar with him from the age somewhere between 5 and 10. My father told us about him. He's won a few Purple Hearts, I think 3 or 4. It says up there, 3 Purple Hearts. And he won the Medal of Honor. And my father explained that anytime you see a living Medal of Honor recipient, you should thank him and salute him. Because, I'm sorry, half of most of them, they died earning that medal. It's a very hard medal to get. And he says, you don't want one. Oh, but yes. And he lived till 1971, Audie Muprhy. Not my father, he lived till 85. So, and they were born fairly close to one another. They served in the same area generally, the same general area during World War II. I don't know if they ever met. I doubt it. They probably would have mentioned it. Would have been a high point of his military service. So I doubt that happened. But 71, so he was 50-something, I guess, or late 40s. I'm not going to do the math. You guys can do it. He was born in 24. My father was born in 26. And he died in May 28th in 1971. And he wasn't walking the Appalachian Trail. That wasn't what got him. He was flying over it, and there was a plane crash right near here, it always says. Everything I've ever read about it says right near here. So, I don't know exactly where, but this is like the top of the mountain. I'm at 3,000 and some odd feet, 67 or something. I looked it up earlier today. It's not 31, so it's between 3,000 and 3,100, which is kind of high, seeing how we started out at 15-something. So, and so I would imagine it was a foggy day or something, and they lost their bearings or something and came down and hit the highest thing around. And that sucks for anybody in any plane. And he also did a couple movies, and we sat and watched the movies when I was a kid. And that's when my father told us the story and stuff like that. And again, I apologize for eating, but it seems every time I sit down, I eat and drink water, or flavored water with electrolytes in it. But yeah, you have to be careful around some people when you say, yeah, we were drinking all night. Yeah, I did that the other night. I went in and I said, no, I came in here just to drink and eat. And they were like, oh, and they were talking about beer and alcohol and everything. No water. No water. So, that was funny. Or humorous anyhow. Alrighty, I'm having a bag of Fritos, and I'm going to have a package of Spam. Yeah, because you need a little bit of protein and meat and stuff like that. And yes, there are ways I can get it for all you vegetarians out there. But Spam is convenient, and you don't need a spoon for Spam, which is what I like about it. I was doing chicken and tuna last year quite a bit. Still have a little bit of chicken because you can put it in the chicken ramen, and it'll actually be chicken ramen then. When you heat it up, you can put the chicken in there, and it makes the soup a little more flavorful and puts more protein in there. But the Spam, on the tuna and the chicken, you need a utensil to pull it out of there. The Spam, you can squeeze the bottom and do it like a popsicle. And I just call it a Spamsicle. And then you don't have to you know, because it's hard to clean utensils out here without water, unless you're right near water. And you don't want to be carrying around dirty stuff, and you know, it increases your odds for getting some kind of weird disease for eating food that's filled with bacteria and all sorts of other germs. So that's my reason. And I was never a Spam eater, believe me. I'm as grossed out as most of you people by the thought of it, but since I've been doing it, it's not so bad. It's tolerable. And on the trail you have to make adjustments and eat things that are practical, not necessarily what you want to eat. But you have to keep enough calories in. Everything has to be shelf stable. Except on the first day, if you go out with like frozen meat or frozen something, and then, you know, by afternoon or thing, now it's approved by the FDA, believe me. You know, you're not supposed to put a chicken on the counter and let it go. You should be doing it in the refrigerator. But you can get away with it on the first day. And then you do have to make sure you heat it up high and properly. So, alright. I am going to turn this off for now. Well, actually, let me look at my thing. I haven't done that yet. My map and on the GPS, and see what my expectations are. I'm at 693 now, and I believe the car is at 689 point something. So I'm only 4-something hours away, and I'm going to sit here until probably 1 o'clock, and that would make it 5 o'clock, but it's mostly downhill from here, so that should be nice. Some people don't like the downhills. I actually enjoy them. As long as you go slow, they're fine, I find. Now this may or may not work. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the phone and focus on the phone if I can. Let's see. The viewfinder is turned off. I can't see anything. Oh, it's like last year's camera. So I'm guessing, anyhow, this is the parking area I'm going to. The power line's there. There's a tent there. Oh, camping spot. Theoretically, there's water and water. And another camping spot. But that's not right near the road. So you wouldn't want to be in those camping spots on a weekend, because it's easy access from the road. It's only a mile or so in. Then there it looks like less than a mile on both of them. So, you know, you'd be, all the locals, all the day hikers and stuff go in and camp, and then they go back out on Monday morning and they have to go to work. So during the week, yeah, you could chance it. You might get somebody camping in there, but it won't be too crowded. But on the weekends, it'll be just so crowded. It's not worth it. You're better off hanging out somewhere where nobody else is. Alrighty. So I really only have, what, 4 miles? Yeah, 4, maybe 5. I don't know. I get lost sometimes on the ends, these zeros. My wife and I, when we were programming computers, would just call it off by 1. Because if you think about it, when you're born, you're 0. And then when you're 1, you've already lived 1, so you're actually on your 2nd year. And that's just stuck in my head forever, and it's always screwed me up. And I know there's a 0 in there, so it's 690. So it's 90, 91, 92, 93, and then if you go to 89, that's 4. So it's probably a little over 4. Anyhow, now you have a little insight into a sick mind. Alright, catch you later. Bye-bye. Well, let me tell you what happened in the last hour or so. I'm near the end, you can hear the road noise. But I pulled out because when you look right here, this is what I call a proper rock ridge. You come across here, and you can see the creek. It's a very good creek. You know, it's got a fair amount of water. And you can refill your stuff here. I don't have to because we're so close to the car. It won't matter. But look, it's a rock ridge. Step. The water gets through. Step. Same. Step. Same. Step. Same. And, you know, they have to widen it a little bit and put that in, but that is the simplest version Wonderful. Now, what happened, I have to look. I can't see from here. I fell down. I started to roll down the side of the hill. And I know I've got bruise type injuries, but no bones, no joints or anything. And I probably have some ripped skin, which means there'll probably be blood and stuff. But it probably looks worse than it is. So don't be worried about me, anybody. I have to go to the car, and I'll go to the hospital because I can't see what I'm doing at that angle. I can't even see how much blood there is or isn't. But I'm suspecting there is some, because I can feel it scabbing now. And I'm going to walk down to, not walk, but drive down to Walmart to get some hydrogen peroxide. Because, stupid me, never thought of getting hydrogen peroxide for this trip. And yeah, on the backpack you wouldn't. But whatchamacallit, for the car, you leave it in the car and it's there every time, because you're not really going to change your shirt and stuff. And so then when you go to do the laundry, you've got it. And you can keep the blood from staining. And there may be blood in other places, I don't know. So, and last year I remember we had to do it like, 3 or 4 times. Had to stop in town, find hydrogen peroxide, a small bottle, use it up, and then leave it in town because it's just ridiculous to carry. But when I get to town, I can't wash in between anyhow, so it's not a big deal. But now that I've got the car, it's nice. I can just have it in the car. And that way I don't have to run to town every time. So I can buy a bigger bottle. Anyhow. And then I'll get a couple more. I thought about it. I have a minimal first aid kit, which would be adequate if I could see what I was doing. But it'll be much better to have, I can have the extras with the car. So that's one of the pluses of having a car. You don't have to get by with the minimal. Alrighty. Let's see. Today was Sunday. I saw more people on the trail than I anticipated. And most of the day was nice. I actually liked it. It was a lovely day, except for that last hour. The rain started coming down at 3:30. The weatherman said potentially at 4. I didn't figure it was coming at all. And the last couple times, it's been a half hour late when it came. It was a half hour earlier. So, and then what happened was, basically the reason I fell, I got up my umbrella because it was going to rain heavy. As a matter of fact, my right side is all wet. The left side's not so bad except for the blood, so it's kind of wet too. Look at it from that point of view. And I walked about 100 steps, and because I'm holding the umbrella in this hand, I've got the trekking poles in the right hand. And sure enough, I tripped on something, grabbed my toe, and made me do a double step. And if I'd had the trekking pole there, it wouldn't have been a problem. I would have jammed it in, and I would have just said, "Oh, close call." Well, it wasn't a close call. I rolled, and then I rolled off the trail, and I started sliding down. But I dug my fingers into the soil and was able to stop myself. It wasn't too steep. It was similar to that, maybe a 30-degree looking from the bottom. So 45, that might have been a longer ride. So, and then I had to crawl up. That was tricky. It took me a few tries because you try and make it up and you slide down, and pick your foot up to the next spot and it slides down. But I got it. It wasn't a big deal. And then about 15-20 minutes later, like it does out here, the rain stopped. So, and if you're hiking it and it's a whole thing, well, now you've got, what, 4-ish? It's not 5 yet. I know that. So it's between 4 and 5. And by that time, you know, if you've got all the right clothes and the fast drying stuff, it'll all be dry. This is like almost half dry now anyhow. And it's only been less than half an hour since the rain stopped. Oh, I'll get my umbrella out of my pocket, because I'll try and sit down and be like, what the hell's stopping me from sitting down? Yeah. There's the guilty party. So, alright. I know there was all kind of wacky, whatchamacallit, angles on that, and I apologize for that. But I was having trouble, I've got white gloves on, and I know there's scabbing going on, and it's attaching to the fingers and the gloves and stuff. You know, I've probably got some wounds on the hand. As a matter of fact, I'm sure I do, since I have deep soil into the gloves and stuff. Let me see what I can do here. I don't know what we're going to find when I slide this back. Don't worry about it. It looks worse than it is. I can tell you that from experience. It's the drugs I'm on, and they go ahead and, the skin is really bad, and it makes it worse than makes it look worse than it really is. So, of course, I'll have scars there for the rest of my life. Because, I mean, I didn't get any scars on my arms and stuff, and I've cut them pretty badly before. And then when I started on this, now every little injury leaves a scar. It's because of the prednisone. Prednisone is the drug you love to hate. Rod Serling came up with it. Welcome to the prednisone. Okay, anyhow, you're probably looking at my hand, so let me turn this off because I rested you on the car, and I'll see you in the future, maybe again before I close out tonight. Bye-bye.